Hi guys! I don't often make yeasted dough on this show, but today I'm going to because I really wanted to make this recipe, and it's a cinnamon nut bun, and it uses a really simple yeast dough to start off with. So I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna make it. Start off by stirring a 1/4 cup of warm water into 2 packages of yeast. Just let it sit for about 5 minutes. While you're waiting, you can combine your other ingredients. This is a 1/2 cup of butter, 1 stick, unsalted. Add 1½ cups of milk. This is warm, but not hot. We usually say about 115 degrees is good. To that, you can add a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 large eggs. This goes in. Then add 2 1/4 teaspoons of coarse salt. And then you can add your yeast mixture. Add the yeast. And then you just stir in your flour. It's 6 cups of all-purpose flour. No mixers needed. You can knead this by hand. You could use a standing mixer if you have one with a dough hook and then just knead it right in the mixer, but I like to do it by hand. What you're looking for here is kind of a shaggy dough. It's a little bit sticky, and that's okay because now you're gonna knead it. Right now it's super sticky, but the kneading and then the subsequent rising will take away a lot of that stickiness. Start off using a pretty generous amount of flour. Have a nice big bowl and some softened butter. You can see that it's already not really sticking to my hands anymore, and it's springy and smooth. I feel like it's done, so I'm just gonna put it in the bowl to rise. Brush the bowl with butter. This keeps your dough from sticking to the bowl. I like to put my dough in topside down, just turn it around once, mush it around a little bit, just so the top has some butter on it so it doesn't dry out. And then additionally, cover it with plastic wrap, and then just put it someplace warm and let it rise until it's doubled in bulk. That'll take about 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's risen and beautiful. The miracle of yeast. I'm gonna make my filling now. I have a cup of dark brown sugar in my food processor. To that, I'm adding 2/3 of a cup of pecans. Then add a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. And when I say a pinch, I mean like, you know, a generous pinch because I like a little salt in there. And then process everything to combine. Now what you want to do is just roll your dough out to a 16 by 10 inch rectangle. Spread with 4 tablespoons of softened, unsalted butter. Then take the filling and spread it out to cover the butter, and then press the filling into the butter so that it sticks there when you start rolling up your roll. Then roll, starting from one long end and rolling up. Try to keep it nice and tight so the filling stays inside the roll and doesn't all ooze out all over the place. That's it. In a 9 by 13 inch baking dish, you can use a glass dish like this or a small rimmed baking sheet. Either one works. Cut your dough into 12 pieces. And you can use a knife or you can use a bench scraper, which is what I'm doing. Take your rolls and place them with one cut side down into the baking dish. And then cover them with plastic wrap and let them rise till they're nice and puffy. That'll take about another 1 hour and 15 minutes. Haven't they changed a lot? Look at that. They're really, really puffy. They're ready to bake 375 for about 25 to 30 minutes. These are baked. They just need to cool for a bit, and while they do, I'm going to make a glaze. Combine in a pot 1 cup of dark brown sugar, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and 2 tablespoons of water. You want to melt everything together and then just cook it a tiny bit, like a minute or 2 at a simmer, so it thickens a little bit to make a glaze. Now, after your buns have sat for about 15 minutes, you can glaze them. Then you just pour the glaze over the top. These are homemade cinnamon pecan buns from me to you.